Our goal in any storm or challenge in life is to try to get out as fast as we can. No one wants to sit in the rain of heartbreak and loss. So we run as fast as we can to the nearest exit in the storm in hopes of sunnier days ahead. However, the only purpose of a storm is not always to just get through it. Just like storms in nature can both destroy and purify, so do the storms of our lives. There are aspects of storms that break us down, but with God, there are aspects of storms that God will use to build us up if we endure. Keeping this in mind, here are 5 tests you will encounter when you face life's storms and how to pass each one. Number 1, not listening to God. The first test we often face in a storm is the temptation not to listen to God. In fact, some storms are sent by God to get our attention in the first place, to give us warning, and to actually protect us. But if we choose not to listen, we may find ourselves in a storm longer than necessary. In any storm, it is important to stay in prayer and keep our lines of communication with God open so we can clearly hear what He wants us to do. And then we need to do it. Number 2, giving up faith. The second test we will often face when in a storm is the temptation to give up faith. The challenges that we face in any storm can cause us to think that God is not with us or that He's not strong enough to help us through. Storms remind us that we are not in control, which is actually very true. But we must not make the mistake of thinking that God is like us. He is not like people. No matter how crazy life gets, God has a hold on everything. We don't have to be in control to place our faith in the one who does. And when we keep our faith in God, our hearts are encouraged to keep going to get to the other side of this storm. Because the truth is, there is another side, and no storm lasts forever. Our faith in God is the lifesaver that keeps us and sustains us as we make it through. Number 3, distancing yourself from God. One of the most common questions we find ourselves asking when faced with a storm in life is God mad at me? Now, if we've gotten to the point that we're asking this question, it's most likely that we already believe the answer is yes. What we really mean is, why is God mad at me? And you know what? It's really hard to connect and draw near to someone when you think they are mad at you. So here's a truth I need you to hold on to during your storm. God is not mad at you, beloved. He is not imparting some revenge on you. Actually, it's quite the opposite. God is fighting for you as you go through this storm. In a storm of his own, the Apostle Paul wrote these words: "We are afflicted in every way, but not crushed, perplexed, but not driven to despair, persecuted, but not forsaken, struck down, but not destroyed." God has not abandoned you, so you don't need to abandon your faith in Him. Number 4, looking at the storm and not God. The fourth test we commonly face during a storm of life is the temptation to look at the storm and not look at our God. I think of Peter, who walked on water with Jesus until his focus shifted from Jesus to the wind and the waves. And it's then that he started to sink. If you find yourself sinking in a storm today, I ask you, what are you looking at? Your circumstances or your God? Isaiah 26:3 says, "You keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you." Where your mind goes, your heart will follow. Be sure to keep your mind on God so that your heart will be at peace no matter what storm you are facing. And we can do that because there is no storm greater than our God. Number 5, rushing through the storm. Finally, the last test we commonly face during a storm is trying to rush through it. Whether we act like the storm is not real or we try to move on before it's time, rushing a storm is a common response to unfortunate life circumstances. Of course, this is because we want to get out of the storm as soon as possible. But storms still serve a purpose, and we can't accomplish that purpose or realize that purpose if we don't allow the storm to run its course. James 1 verses 2 through 4 says, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." We often think no good can come out of a storm, but God uses storms to increase our faith and strengthen our inner being to help us during the next storm and to comfort others who are also facing storms. This work, however, can't be accomplished if we rush through the storm, not allowing it to complete its work in us. Now, I would love to hear from you. How are you most likely to be tested when you face a storm in life? And how does God help you overcome? Let's encourage one another in the comments. What if I told you the challenges you are facing in life are not here to destroy or weaken you, but to heal, restore, and strengthen you? Our upcoming Beloved Women Bible Study series is called Peace in the Storm, and it teaches you the 6 types of storms we will face in life and how to trust God through each storm to experience His peace and strength through it all. I invite you to join me for this eye-opening and life-changing new video Bible study series exclusively on the Beloved Women app, available in the Apple or Google Play stores or at belovedwomen.tv. In addition to weekly video teachings, you will also receive a beautifully designed PDF study guide with weekly study questions, viewer guides, activities, and more to help you follow along and make what you are learning personal. Whether you are just coming out of a storm, entering a storm, or currently in a storm, this series was created for you. If you are ready to choose faith over fear and develop the trust in God to dance in the rain, sign up for our next Beloved Women video Bible study series, Peace in the Storm, by joining the Beloved Women app today. I look forward to studying with you there. As always, thank you so much for watching today. And until next time, be beautiful, be blessed, and be loved.